Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. And today's video we're going to be doing something a little bit different that you guys have been requesting. Um, we're actually going to do a voiceover post race. So this is a race I did a couple days ago at Yas Marina, and I thought it was a really cool race. So we're going to go ahead and attempt a post-race voiceover and see how things go. We're in the McLaren for this race, and right from the get-go, things really were kicking off. Um, you'll see right here in turn one, I have to dodge a few people. But as the race progresses, we do have to deal with one guy who's fairly aggressive. I used the pause ghosting tactic on him, I think on 2 different occasions before he backed off. But yeah, I mean, as you guys saw there, turn one, a lot kicked off. We wound up gaining 4 positions there. And coming up here, and things are going to kick off again. So we're going to go ahead and go around the outside of that. And this NSX right here that we're passing, remember him, because he and I are going to have one of the best battles I have ever had in Forza. It is absolutely awesome racing. So keep an eye out for that. And also keep an eye out on that Red Bull KTM Expo right up there that's getting tangled with people. That is the guy that we will have an interaction with a little bit later in this race. So anyway, as you guys can see, we're up here into 8th already, which is pretty crazy. Not even done with 1 lap yet. And this tune, I'm trying to remember, I'm pretty sure it's by a member of ESV, and I think it's the only tune for the 720S that is, well, at least that I saw, that was by a member of ESV. So anyway, we're coming through the hotel complex here, and almost done with lap 1. So far, I think things have gone about as well as we could have hoped to be up here in 8th already. I mean, I guess, you know, there's always the 1 in a million chance that you somehow shoot up from the back to 1st in 1 lap, but I think the matchmaking is generally good enough that, you know, that doesn't really happen, at least very often, for most people. I know that, you know, guys like Raceboy and, you know, some of those other, like, really fast drivers can do that, but anyway, coming onto the back straight here, we have a pretty decent gap to the guys behind. We're slowly closing in on Punk 91. Punk 91. Alright. And Transporter up there in the Porsche. Now, I think a couple of these guys we do wind up eventually passing. I think it's that Lamborghini and Expo up there. They were both more on the aggressive side, as you can see. A lot of door banging, some spinning each other out, that kind of stuff. So that's going to give us 2 more positions there as they're having their fight. Now, unfortunately, we get a little bit of a bump right here that throws us off our line, but we are able to hold the Lamborghini wide and reclaim that position there, or maintain, I should say. Coming up on the end of lap 2 here, we are in 6th place now, so taking a page out of Super GT's book. from here, I think this is where we're about to start having our own tussle with quarter bike 14647 in that Expo GT2 behind, as he is going to start closing the gap on this straight after this hairpin here. And if I remember correctly, at the end of this straight, he is going to try a dive bomb. And I didn't take too kindly to it. So, a little bit later, now see, I did give this guy a bump. But that, right there, that's just a little unnecessary. So, we're gonna defend here, hold the inside. And then we're gonna be greeted by a Lamborghini at the last second, who obviously overshoots his braking point. But then, what is that? What is that, quarter bike? And then there's the guy who was tussling with quarter bike also getting in on the action. So we're gonna return the favor to quarter bike here in a minute, albeit much less aggressively. More of like a, hey, I didn't appreciate that door bump. But I mean, as you can see, the dude already has almost 5 seconds in penalties. He's clearly, let's see, here's kind of the thank you very much, I'll take that position back moment. So didn't spin him out, but definitely put doors aside. Now here, I did not trust him. To his credit, he did not try to ram me on that occasion. But as you will see here shortly, he is either not a good driver who overshoots his braking points more often than not, or he, was turning into an angry person who was trying to ruin other people's races. I apologize for some of the stuttering here of the frame rate. I don't know if that's the actual recording or if it's the video player I'm using now, because I'm just recording my screen with the recording of the race in full screen. So there's that part where we paused and went through that guy, and here we managed to mostly avoid any contact with him and get back past him again. And as I'm sure you guys can see coming, he is still an upset person, so we'll go ahead and pause again, albeit a little bit late for our own braking, but wound up avoiding him for a second time, and from this point on, he just kind of backs off. And now, if you guys recall from earlier, we are here with the NSX. And yeah, as you can see, the guy behind is just slowing way down. I don't know if he just really was like, alright dude, like I'll let you go, or if he had a beef with somebody else and gave up on hitting me because I had the pause deal. I don't know, but anyway, I'm really glad that he backed off. So here we are with the NSX, and for really the rest of this race, this is just gonna be a straight wonderful back and forth battle. I actually sent him a message afterward and thanked him for such a great race, because it really was one of the more close, but it was like a close battle, but I never really felt pressure, because I trusted him after the first little bit of battling that he was going to be clean about it, and that he also wanted a good race. I can't remember how involved this KTM gets. I know that he didn't seem like a particularly dirty driver, if I'm remembering correctly. I did record this a couple days ago, so kind of refreshing my memory on some stuff here as I watch it back with you guys. Excuse me. Still early in the morning as I'm recording this. So, like I said, I can't remember what exactly happens with that KTM. But here, briefly, that NSX and the KTM's going to kind of fall off, and then the NSX and I are going to really start fighting it out. He definitely had the pace on me. As you can see, I'm pulling away from him now, but as I've mentioned, the gap does come down, and we wind up having a great battle. And right there on just a second ago in the top right, he put good race. I think that he may have gotten tangled up a little bit with that KTM, and that's why he lost a little bit of time to us. But we're here in 9th and about to start closing the gap on, well, we closed up some of the gap on Punk 9-1 there. I don't think that we wind up catching him. I do think that the current leader, tries to run a no stop and winds up losing out on the last lap toward the end. But so the NSX is coming. I think we mess up this chicane. We don't take this chicane very well. And he starts to close the gap here. Or maybe it's this next sweeping corner. I can't remember. But we do make a mistake, and he starts closing the gap pretty quickly. Very good driver, though. Very good driver. I don't want to butcher his first name, so I'll just say Nikolai. The guy right behind us. So coming through the hotel complex here on lap number 6. And not too bad of a pace. Not too bad of a race pace on mediums. I do think that we wind up getting a little bit faster lap than that 159.1, but I could be wrong. But here we are up into 8th. It looks like we've made up about a second on Punk 9-1, but Mr. Nikolai behind us, as you can see, is also about halved that gap that we had on him during the last lap. I think I go deep here. Yeah, very deep here. And that mistake is what leads us to start really having a close wheel-to-wheel, clean, just epic battle. And it was really, to me, this really kind of highlighted the difference between, and that was a stupid mistake that I made, cutting the track there. But to me, this battle really highlighted just how balanced the McLaren and the NSX, at least with these setups that I have and he has, can be. Because in a lot of ways, he had just that little bit more acceleration and top end, and I had just that little bit more grip, generally speaking. So I think that this is a showcase of how balanced, the cars can be. And I mean, you could argue that it's a difference in our driving style or our ability or whatever, but um, I think that we were very similarly matched. So he made that little mistake there, and he was holding the inside, so we're gonna try to go around the outside, but he is gonna hold the line and defend well there. So we go side by side through turn one. I back off through turn two just because that's a really tough corner um, to stay on the outside and still get a good run through that next corner. So as you can see, we actually got the better run, and that puts us here on the inside for the hairpin, where we retake the lead in this battle, not the race obviously, but here we go again, side by side down the straight. And just getting a little bit of side draft there. Able to hold him a little bit more narrow than I'm sure he would have liked to be. Try to go for the cutback, but just can't quite get it done. I'm gonna try to get a little bit of a slipstream here just to stay close, because I do know he has that acceleration on us. I brake a little bit early here, hoping he would brake late so I could try to get the undercut, but I just messed it up a little bit and wasn't able to get the move done. And here he makes a little bit of a mistake, although he does recover quite nicely and still winds up hitting the apex of that corner. But here through the hotel complex and around these last two corners, we have been quicker. Granted, we have a bigger penalty than he does, and we're behind, so, our chances of being far enough ahead of him to do anything was not great. But as you can see there, he said good race at the last minute. I totally agree. I thought that was really great battling, and I appreciated just how clean he and I raced. We left each other plenty of space. I don't think, if I'm recalling correctly, I know we just watched it, but I don't think there was any contact between us, and if there was, it was negligible. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, so as you can see, this is what I was watching it back in. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and if you did, I hope you'll leave a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel if you're new around here, if you haven't already. I know that there's about 1,000 of you guys that do keep coming back, and for the 550 plus of you that have subscribed, I cannot tell you enough how much I appreciate you. And for the people, that have not subscribed yet, if you find yourself coming back and enjoying the content, I hope that you'll consider doing that. But anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for me, and I hope to catch y'all in the next one.